This presentation will cover important information about international student and scholar services and maintaining your immigration status while you're at UC Santa Cruz. International Student and Scholar Services, ISSS, is a part of the Division of Global Engagement. In addition to ISSS, the division also includes global initiatives, study abroad, and global programming. ISSS works with international students, helping them stay in status, know their resources, and adjust culturally and academically. If you ever feel like you don't know where to go for help, come and see someone in ISSS. Advisors. There are many types of advisors at UC Santa Cruz, and each advisor has a specific role. Academic advisors. There are two types of academic advisors at UC Santa Cruz. The first type is your college advisor. That is the person you will be speaking with the most. College advisors help with enrollment, educational goals, graduation, and anything academic not related to your major. The next type of academic advisor is the major advisor. They know the most about the requirements for your major. Major advisors help with class enrollment, prerequisites, planning your course of study in order to declare your major, faculty mentors, and educational opportunities related to your major. International Student and Scholar Advisors. ISSS advisors work alongside your academic advisors with international students. They want to help students succeed and help answer questions about J-1 immigration status, travel, and employment. ISSS advisors are also here to talk about cultural and academic struggles. If you ever have a problem and do not know where to go for help, come and see someone in ISSS. Staying in status. As an international student, there are rules and regulations you need to be aware of. This is important for you to understand. It is your responsibility to make sure you are aware of the rules and follow them so you can remain in status in the US and at UC Santa Cruz. Enrollment. Full-time enrollment is 12 credits each quarter. You must be enrolled in at least 12 credits during each of the fall, winter, and spring quarters. You can take more, but you cannot take fewer than 12 credits without approval from ISSS. If you are enrolled in fewer than 12 credits, you are not maintaining J-1 status. As a result, you could have your status terminated and have to leave the US. There are very specific reasons to be approved for a reduced course load. As a UC EAP student or exchange student, the only reason to take fewer than 12 credits is a medical reduced course load. Medical reasons. If you are dealing with physical or mental health issues and are seeing a doctor or medical professional in the US, then you may be eligible to take fewer than 12 credits. We will need a note from your US doctor or the UC Santa Cruz Student Health Center in order to approve this request. Address. It is your responsibility to keep your address updated in your UCSC portal. All updates must be made within 10 days of the change. Please use this slide as a guide as to how to enter your address. We need your physical address, not a post office box number or a general campus address. Health insurance. All J-1 students are required to have health insurance, and the UC SHIP plan satisfies this requirement. If you have UC SHIP, you can use the health center for all of your medical needs. Direct all questions to the email listed or call the health center. If you do not have UC SHIP, you'll need to look at your plan to find out where your doctor, pharmacy, and all other resources are located in Santa Cruz. Documents needed as a J-1 international student. DS 2019. The DS 2019 is a very important document. It is used to apply for a visa and is also the primary document which shows that you are maintaining status. This document has a lot of important information, such as your SEVIS ID, your program dates, start and end, your field of study, financial information, and more. Passport. You need to make sure your passport is always valid for at least 6 months into the future. If needed, you can renew your passport while in the US. Visa. The J-1 visa is another very important document to be familiar with. The visa will show if you have received a multiple entry or a single entry visa. Most students have a multiple entry visa, which means you do not need to renew each time you leave. You should have a J-1 visa with an expiration date in the future. I-94. This document shows your personal information, immigration status, and the date showing your most recent entry into the US. It also shows D/S, which means duration of status. You can access this document online through an official government website after you arrive in the US. If any of the information on your I-94 is incorrect, please contact ISSS and let them know. Keep in mind that you can remain in the US with an expired visa in your passport as long as your DS-2019 and your passport are valid. A visa cannot be renewed in the US and must be renewed at a consulate abroad. We strongly recommend that you do this in your home country so you will have a place to stay in case the processing takes a long time. You must always have a valid visa in order to enter the US. Once you arrive and complete the check-in process, you will be eligible for a travel signature, which is needed to re-enter the US. Each travel signature is valid for 1 year from the date it was signed. Your responsibilities. Once you arrive in Santa Cruz, you will need to complete some additional steps to ensure you stay in status. The first thing is to complete the check-in process. ISSS will send an email detailing the items you will be required to upload via iGlobal, the same portal that you used to upload your documents to request your DS-2019. Next, update your address, even if you will still be in temporary housing. Then, make sure that you are fully enrolled in at least 12 credits. You must notify ISSS of any changes to the length of your program. Make sure to always read your UC Santa Cruz email and always include your full name and your student ID in all emails that you send. This information allows us to respond quickly and make sure we know who we are replying to. Check-in process. You will receive an email as we get closer to the start of the term to begin the check-in process. The check-in process must be completed by the deadline listed on your iGlobal checklist, and you must upload your visa, I-94, and complete all other required steps. At this time, there is nothing you need to do, as you cannot complete this step until you arrive in the US. Employment. All J-1 students are eligible to work on campus. However, you must receive permission from ISSS prior to working. You will need to have a social security number in order to be paid. There are rules that you need to be aware of before beginning work. You must complete and turn in the on-campus employment form prior to working. You cannot work more than 20 hours per week while school is in session. You cannot work past the end date on your DS-2019. However, the job you choose on campus is flexible and can be in any field, including jobs that are not related to your major. Applying for a Social Security number, or SSN. You are only eligible for a Social Security number once you have an offer of employment. Before you apply, make sure that you have been in the US for at least 10 days, completed the check-in process, and that you've had your SEVIS record registered. You can read more about the steps to get a Social Security number on our website. Off-campus employment. As a J-1 student, you are not eligible for off-campus employment unless authorized by ISSS. Off-campus employment for J-1 students is called academic training and can be done during or after you complete your program. Academic training, also referred to as AT, is an option for you while you are a student here at UC Santa Cruz. Academic training must be approved by ISSS prior to starting and must be directly related to your field of study listed on your UC Santa Cruz DS-2019. Academic training can be paid or unpaid. During the academic year, you cannot work more than 20 hours per week. If you are doing academic training after your program end date, you can work as much as you like for the duration of approval. In order to apply, you will need to already have a job offer and be aware that you cannot do academic training for any longer than the length of your program. For example, if you are here for an academic year, you are eligible to do up to 9 months of academic training. If you are only here for 1 quarter or 3 months, you are only eligible for 3 months of academic training. The big things to remember is no off-campus employment is allowed without prior authorization. If you are found to be working off-campus without permission, you could be in violation of your status and be required to leave the U.S. Travel. When entering the U.S. for your first time, you will need to make sure you have a valid DS 2019, visa, and passport that is good for at least 6 months into the future. We will talk more about traveling at the orientation once you arrive. After your program. At the end of your program, you will be allowed to remain in the U.S. for a 30-day grace period. During this time, you cannot work or study. Once you leave the U.S., you cannot return in J-1 status. If you apply to do academic training, the 30-day grace period occurs at the end of your academic training period. As you plan your travel to Santa Cruz, remember, you must be here for the mandatory International Student Orientation. International Student Orientation is your opportunity to meet other students and get acclimated to Santa Cruz and the campus. You will receive more information on International Student Orientation in your iGlobal checklist and also via email as we get closer to the start of the term. Remember, ISSS is here for you. If you ever have a problem and do not know where to go for help, please come see someone in ISSS. We look forward to meeting you soon.